San Francisco has tried just about everything to put an end to the drug markets with really little or no success. But now some city officials say they have one more plan that has not been tried here yet, but has been successful in some other cities. Well,
ABC 7 News Building a Better Bay Area reporter Leanne Melendez is here with these details.
Yeah, well, you know, many have wanted to go after the drug dealers, but there wasn't that coordination within the city. And the city didn't want to pay for this so-called intervention strategy plan. But guess what? The city still doesn't want to pay for it, and it appears it is getting it anyway, because a nonprofit has stepped in to cover the cost of bringing in an expert over 2 years to tell people here how to put an end to the drug markets.
It's not a mistake to refer to the proliferation of fentanyl in some San Francisco neighborhoods as an epidemic. It's a noun, meaning an outbreak of disease that spreads quickly and affects many individuals at the same time.
It's not good. You know what I mean? I see it every day. You know, people, you know, be looking like zombies and, you know, doing all that.
What kind of drugs do you use?
Well, I mean, it's not, I use methamphetamine, you know, alcohol and cigarettes, but I mean, it's not, I'm not addicted to it.
Sure, they seize kilos and arrest drug dealers and the occasional user, and yet the Tenderloin remains San Francisco's public drug market. Why is that? Would it surprise you to know that many have told us that San Francisco has never had a drug market intervention strategy? What do they mean by that?
You have to first focus on the sellers. You have to close down the drug market. How do you close a market? You stop people who's selling. If there's no sellers, there can't be buyers.
And among the consequences of not having an intervention strategy are the unintentional drug overdose deaths. Despite Mayor Daniel Lurie's efforts to combat the drug use here, it appears the number of overdose deaths in 2025 will be about the same as the ones in 2024. Keep in mind that we are still waiting for the December 2025 number to be released. What was different in 2025 was the increase of synthetic drugs on the streets.
They're cutting the fentanyl with benzodiazepines, which are very cheap to get and synthetic, and they're very strong, they're highly effective, right? It gives the appearance of enhancement of the actual drug itself while using less fentanyl, and thereby saving the dealer or the distributor more fentanyl so that they can sell more and actually make more money that way by cutting it with the benzodiazepine.
And here is the addendum to that.
Narcan does not work to reduce an overdose from benzodiazepines. Addiction to benzodiazepines are very, very real, and the withdrawals from them are far worse and far more dangerous than they are from opioids.
On a recent rainy day, we spoke to Bilal Mahmoud, the San Francisco supervisor representing the Tenderloin, who made finding an intervention strategy part of his campaign.
The research has shown that a drug market intervention strategy is the only solution from a prevention-based approach that has shut down open-air drug markets in the United States.
There is one name circulating at City Hall as the utmost authority in closing down drug markets across the country. David Kennedy of the Center for Crime Prevention and Control at John Jay College of Criminal Justice in New York. Kennedy decided to hold off on talking to us, but the nonprofit funding his efforts, the Crankstart Foundation, did. Quote, Crankstart granted $500,000 to the Breaking the Cycle Fund at the San Francisco Foundation with the purpose of supporting research by John Jay College into interventions that will enhance public safety and health in San Francisco.
I would say that $500,000 for a 2-year engagement from somebody like David Kennedy is worth every penny.
It's a brilliant idea. They say to people, look, we have all the evidence, we can put you to jail for a number of years, or you can leave the city. Which do you prefer? Guess what they usually choose? Leave the city. And that's been successful everywhere. But we haven't done that here.
So this would be calling upon the premier expert on shutting down open-air drug markets to figure out a strategy on how to shut down a fentanyl market for the first time in the U.S. history.
In a city that has long been divided on the issue of how to come up with an intervention strategy, It appears that for the first time, there is consensus among city leaders.
Nothing that we are doing as a city to enable or tolerate public drug use in San Francisco is helping anybody. Not our neighborhoods, not our business, not our economy, but least of all, not anybody on the street at the end of the rope addicted to a drug like fentanyl.
And so far, we haven't found anyone who seems opposed to this intervention strategy. Now, because this is a gift from the nonprofit Crankstart, it has to be reported to the Comptroller's Office and Ethics Commission. Any gift or donation valued at more than $10,000 has to be approved by the Board of Supervisors, and it seems like there is consensus. And you know who else is on board, apparently? The mayor of San Francisco.